Hey now, I say, hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now, and a hey now. Hour number 3 of the Line Talk 99.5. Damien Mitchell, in a very emotional moment, just walked up to the glass here behind me, which leads out to the lobby. So, for instance, if you were to come to the radio station and you were in the lobby, there were windows behind me. You could stand there and stare at the back of my head while I do this radio show. But in a very emotional moment, Damien Mitchell came up to the glass as today is his last day over the course of 2 weeks. He knocked on the window and he gave me a thumbs up as in, hey, I'm leaving and I'm about to get married. And it was emotional. And sure enough, Damien Mitchell just walks in the studio.
Hold on, you were about to cry?
Well, no, I don't think so. But it was an emotional moment because it was, for me, that was just, it was like you're walking out the door and I'm not going to see you again until you're a married man.
Yeah, but no, I actually forgot something, so I had to come back up. So, yeah, and I figured, I'll stop by and at least let you hear my voice and let you know I'm finna hit.
This is the last time you will hear Damien Mitchell's voice as a bachelor per se.
You got a toothpick.
That thing's awful little.
Good
thing you're locking it in.
Yeah,
you get married. Let's see.
But no, man. Like I said, I forgot something. But no, I appreciate, man. We've been getting a lot of love, a lot of marriage advice today. The biggest thing, I've heard the past couple of days, the past couple of weeks and months, really, is just, communication is key. It's never 50-50. Like a lot of people say, like, if you go, you're not always going to have the 50%. Like it's got to be 80-20 at times. It's going to be 70-30, 60-40, whatever, however. But for the most part, man, it's just communicating. Continue to date your significant other.
Yes.
I
don't do a good job at that, by the way. But yes, that is very good.
It happens, but no, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. It's really here. I'm not nervous about the actual wedding day. Like I was just trying to get just for the sustainability of the marriage. Like I'm looking at the long-term things, man. Like, cause I know, the wedding day is going to be a lot of fun, a lot of love. I'm excited about that. Like I have no issue with that, but after that, after the wedding is over, it's, yeah, man, it's no longer just thinking about Damien.
No,
man, you've inspired me.
He's got no headphones though. I don't have an adapter. So if you can yell really loud,
Damien,
what's up?
You've inspired me. I'm gonna go out and find a wife now.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I like the goatee. I like the
Doesn't he? Stand up real quick. He actually dressed as an O'Reilly Auto Parts employee today.
Shut up.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But yeah, man, we're so excited for you,
Appreciate
and
it,
it's it's kind of a big deal because
teamwork makes a dream.
oh, he's got you covered. What did you forget, by the way?
It's a log out, actually.
Oh, to log out.
Yeah,
You don't want anybody up in your business.
Hole's too big.
That's what she said.
Jeez, John Birch, you getting a little overboard with the "that's what she said." Can you hear?
Not at all. It's all good, man.
It's all good.
I can hear Andrew.
Yeah, he's good. I'll just
sign language.
I'll tell him what you say.
Yeah. No, it's cool because I mean it's a very monumental part of my life.
Yeah.
Especially like I've lived in radio now going on 7 years, and like I started off as like the young wild child, like the Bachelor. I'm thinking like, man, I'm gonna live like a rock star for the rest of my life. And
yeah.
Then that one lady, she just amongst all the forest and the trees, there was just that one diamond. It's like, yo, I gotta see what that's about. But no, I'm excited, and I know my soon-to-be wife is extremely excited. She hasn't been a bridezilla. Like she's been very on point. But I mean, that's kind of expected for a military woman. Like she's key on, hey, this is what we need to do. This is how we're going to do it. This is when it needs to be done. Let's go out there and get it done. So I'm like, hey, let's go.
She's locked in. She knows how everything goes. Everything's organized, and so there's not really anything to stress over.
Nope. Like I'm really
Dang.
going into this like very organized and kind of relaxed a little bit. Cause I asked her last night, and I was like, for some reason, I feel like there's something I need to be doing. And she's like, look at the checklist. And sure enough, everything's knocked off. And everything
Dang.
that is, I guess, out of our control now is just on the wedding coordinator. As long as she's good to go, we are in our spots.
Wow.
Let's ride.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And so you're heading up there today or tomorrow?
Today.
You heading
Yeah,
up there?
I'm leaving now. Like once I leave here.
Man.
Yeah, man, I gotta get my girl. I gotta
So
get
when
my
you
woman.
when you get there, God, it's gonna start getting real. It's not gonna get real until Saturday, but like
Yeah.
this is gonna be the last time you drive up there as a single guy,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
by the time you leave, you'll be a married man.
It's wild. Like, it's no longer. It's no
That's
longer
crazy.
It's no longer my fiance. It's like, no, this is my wife. Like, let me-
Yeah.
and I'm so ready to use this phrase. Like, let me ask my wife. Like, I'm ready.
Oh, you'll be
to
doing
use
that
it.
a lot. Don't
Yeah,
worry about it.
Just keep it in my back pocket. Let me ask my wife.
Let me doing. I mean, I'm doing these home improvement projects, and I got my buddy Evan who's helping me out with it. And every time he hits me up, and it may just be, hey, can I come over and help you out with X, Y, and Z? I'm like, well, let me ask my wife. This
Yeah.
is literally everything. Let me ask my wife.
It's cool though, man. It's cool.
And so you're a team. You're not just a team. You're like one person at
Yep.
that point.
Yeah,
You're-
that's what a lot of people were telling me. It's like, man, when it comes down to it, even G Mac and Cole, they were saying like, no matter what, like hard times are going to come. There's going to be hard days. There's going to be fun days. There's going to be all types of days in between. But the realization is like you're on the same team regardless, and that's the biggest thing. And like I've been a part of sports teams and stuff, but like this one is like this is for life. Like this is how it's going to be.
This is
moving
the ultimate
forward.
team you're going to be on.
Yeah,
This
man.
is, I mean, Birmingham, Southern, Maplesville, all
Yeah.
integral parts of your life, but this is the biggest team that
Yeah,
that you've been a part of.
for sure, man. For
Who
sure.
do you think? And I know this is kind of, I'm kind of diverting here, but who on Jocks do you think has the? And I ask this to say, who do you, out of all the advice that's given to you by Jocks employees, which one do you listen to and you say, oh, I'm for sure taking your advice? Who's got the best marriage in your eyes over on Jocks? Like who's really got it locked in where you look at them and say, oh, that guy and his wife, they're doing it right.
All of them really, but I think, I mean, this could be a cop out, but I think it's Ryan, the boss.
Ryan Haney?
Yeah, because he can give me advice that is both like work related, but also like he can separate business and life, but he does a good job of blending it all together to help aid and make me like a better broadcaster, a better radio host, a better person, a better human.
Yeah.
And even like the conversations when it went from dating to when I was getting engaged and just this process of marriage and just like how life is going to be, like just how life is going to be moving forward. He was talking to me as almost like it was employer, but also father, son, brother to brother. Like it was the advice that he would give me. I really take heed to it on the business side and also just in life, because like he knows he knows it all. And like his sons, he has 3 sons, and like they're all coming up in age. And like when I'm first getting hired, it's almost the age of his oldest son now. So it's like, man, I remember having these conversations years ago, and a lot has changed in that span of time. But it's like, wow, like, okay, now I see what you were saying. Because I told him when I first got here, it's like, man, even if you don't even realize how much information that you're giving me, I'm just soaking it all in.
Hey.
Like not even as just your employee, but just like, wow, like you really understand. And
he probably views you as one of his kids as well.
Yeah,
because-
it's just like, wow, like these are what my youngins are gonna look like, are gonna sound like when they get older.
And even for me, it's like, and John Bird probably feels the same way. When did you start here?
2019.
2019. I came in at the end of 2021. I feel like we have watched you grow up
Oh yeah.
in such a short amount of time. Not in the sense of maturing, but because you were already, pretty mature, but in the sense of the stages of life.
Yeah,
we have watched it, and it's wild. It's
crazy.
It's an emotional moment. That's what I'm saying. It's an emotional moment. It's kind of it makes it extra special.
Yeah, it's unique because I do feel as though like I've grown, like I said, not just in a business sense, but just as a man, like as a human, and just like a lot of things. Like I can look back now at 30 and look at myself at 24 when I first stepped in the building, and just it's like that's a completely different human. Like my thought
Yeah.
processes are different. Like, and just how I go about my day, how I go about my life, and it's just some of those experiences that I had at a younger age, getting into the business so young and seeing all the older guys and just kind of soaking all this stuff in. I couldn't help but get older. Or like I couldn't help but to grow in a lot of areas because I was kind of forced into it.
And to show how important this moment is for you, literally your past 2 months plus of appearances on this show. This is what we've talked about.
Yeah.
That's how big of a deal this is. It's like we have talked about it, and the audience eats it up. We've had, as you've dealt with today on the air, we have had a stream of marital advice come through on this show.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
you've been overloaded with marital advice, and a good another piece of advice is don't take everybody's advice.
That is true.
Kind of pick and choose.
That is true,
because not everybody knows how to do it. And also another thing is you are going to. I kind of, I didn't do that good at being a good husband on my first marriage.
Yeah.
And it takes two to tango. She wasn't a good wife either. But, I learned after that marriage, I kind of learned on my own because I didn't really have anybody there guiding me. I wasn't in radio.
Yeah.
I got into radio at the end of my last marriage, but I had to kind of learn it on my own. There was no guidance, but you started figuring it out and understanding where you needed to be in the sense of how to be a husband, how to be the head of the household, how to also treat your wife and pay attention to her and, her feelings or her needs or whatever. It's very complicated. And if you don't pay attention, that's one thing you have to constantly be on high alert as far as paying attention to what you're doing.
Yeah.
And always considering her in the back of your mind. Because if you don't, and there's going to be times where you get caught up in whatever and you don't, and it's going to piss her off. And then you just come back around and say, listen, it's my bad. I dropped the ball. I wasn't thinking about you in this moment. And, and it could be small things. Like you go in the store, you say, you want something to drink, or, you don't always open the car door or whatever, but, try to do it as much as possible. Or, just small stuff like that. It's super easy to do, and it's not hard to do those things. The hard part is remembering and being conscious of those things.
Consistency is key.
Consistency
is key. And I think, one of the coolest things, too, like kind of just talking to my dad, him and my mom, they've been married for 39 years.
Dang.
And it's funny, like, to hear him. I say it's funny, but it's very eye-opening of, how he talks to me about marriage and the things and some of the things that he would tell me growing up that now at 30 makes complete sense. Like at that time, I wasn't trying to listen to that. But when he talks about, these are the conversations you're going to have. You're going to have those rough patches. You're going to have those moments where you're all butting heads, but also understand that it's one unit. Like no matter what it comes down to, like, nobody needs to go to bed mad. Like, that's not good for anybody involved. And he talks about it from that perspective, and I'm sitting there kind of soaking it all in of like, wow, like he's talking about my mom, but it's his wife.
Yeah.
And he's like, kids, when they come in the play, and he kind of looks and laughs, and it's like, yeah, when kids come into the picture, then there's a whole nother level of like, hey, you're not only responsible for what Damien does or what Taylor's thinking about, like, you gotta be the answer for everything. You gotta have it. Like, even if you don't know, you're figuring it out.
Yeah, the person he deals with and the interactions that he has with your mom is completely different than the interactions that you have.
Yeah.
On multiple levels. So he's giving you advice on and listen, there's gonna be times, and I don't know, you're in such a unique situation with a military wife that, she's gonna have characteristics that are much different than us civilians out here
Yeah.
that have civilian wives. But there are going to be times, and this is usually pretty standard for females. There are going to be times where they are irrational in their thought process, and logic is going out
Going
the window,
100%.
and they're going to be throwing this at you. And as the man, you're going to be like, well, there's an easy fix to this. We do da 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 da. And you give that to them. Well, they're just going to come back at you twice as hard. They're not going to accept that. You got to essentially just listen and agree with the irrationality. And then maybe later on, could be a few hours, could be a couple days, then y'all can come back around. You can introduce the logic back into it,
brother.
And she'll be like, "Oh, okay,
That
we
is
can do that."
That is something that, like, in the process of going through marriage, going through the engagement, and now getting to marriage, I have never once thought about how I feel about a decision. And she'll ask me like certain things of like, "How do you feel about this?" And she genuinely wants to know how I feel. Like, and in my brain, I'm like, black, white. There it goes. There's an answer. There's a logical answer to this. She's like, "But how do you feel about this?" I'm like, "What?" Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't feel anything. This is the question I was presented. This is the answer. It's kind of how I see it.
Yeah.
But it's funny, but I see that all the time. Even when we were going like picking out stuff, and she's just like, "How do you feel about this?" I'm like, but she was like, "But how do you feel? How do you think you'll feel on that day?" I'm like, I don't know. I hadn't gotten to that day, so I don't know how to explain except it looks pretty. Let's ride.
And the thing is, she doesn't want to take your advice. She just wants to hear your advice.
Exactly. And it's a fun process. It can be grueling at times, but now looking back on the past, 6-7 months that we've been kind of prepping for this, like, I'm just ready for Saturday to be here.
Because in the sense of not wanting to take your advice, just wanting to hear it, that's irrational for us, because we're like, why waste the time of having this conversation if I know you're not going to take my advice? But that's not how their brains work
at all.
They want to hear from you, like, what you think.
Like, they want to know my emotional well-being on the decision that's like a yes or no. Like,
and that's some of the effort that you have to put in. There's going to be a lot of it. There's going to be a lot of stuff where you've got to put in effort, where our male brain is saying, there's no reason that I should be doing this. Like, this is a waste of time and energy.
Dog.
But in order to keep them happy, which is what we want, we don't want to keep you happy just to keep you off our back. We want to keep you happy because we genuinely want you to be happy.
100%. Because they don't, not to say that all women feel like this, but sometimes, like, as a man, there are some of the simple things in life that bring us joy. And like, when I tell her, like, I don't want to do anything. Like, I just want to sit on the couch, go to the kitchen, go to the bathroom, go to the bedroom. Those are the only 4 places I want to see today. Yeah. And I don't care what we do in between. Like, I genuinely have no thought process. It's, what do you want to watch on TV? I don't, like, it's not that big of an issue to me. Like, I have no recollection of anything. I'm not going to process anything if it's not a sport. So it's like, yeah, okay. Like, I watched Handmaid's Tale, all 6 seasons of it.
Oh, man.
And, like, I'm picking up episode, like, I'll fall asleep on an episode, wake up on a different episode, and I'm like, okay, it's intriguing. What did I miss? And she go down a laundry list, and I was like, there's no way I slept that long. Like, there's just no way I slept that long. But we watch stuff like that, and it's like, huh. And once we finish the season, I'm like, okay, like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
She's like, so what do you think? Like, would you watch it again? I'm like, probably not. But
if I need a nap.
But it was great when I watched it.
Yeah.
But it's fun, man. Like, the process and especially for people that have been married for a long time, it's cool to kind of just, it's cool to get their expertise and their advice in hindsight, because they'll kind of tell me, like, hey, man, we've been married 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And, you know, like, we've had kids. Our kids are adults. Like, they're grown. They're having kids. They're having grandkids. And he's like, the cycles of life that happen with the person that you're meant to be with, he's like, there's no other fun that you'll ever have. Like, I hear that a lot of, like, man, especially like some of the older members at my church, like, I hear them talk about, you know, like, I saw you when you were, you know, growing up, and I've seen, like, the growth, and I've seen, you know, like, the joy that you have when you speak about your fiance. Like, I want to have that feeling for the rest of my life of just like, yo, like, this is my wife. Like, yo, like, this is pretty fun. Like, this is pretty cool, which it is. It's been a fun process, man. So, It all gets started Saturday.
You got such a head start, dude. I'm telling you right now, you have got an enormous head start that a lot of people don't get, and it comes from not having any guidance. I mean, I got engaged at 18.
That's wild.
In, let's see, 2003. I popped the question like, 3-4 months after I graduated high school.
Oh man.
I guess I graduated in May, and then it it was in November of 2003. So a few months at a Rick and Bubba event.
Oh wow.
Which was the turkey toss up in Huntsville at the Space and Rocket Center. Wow. It was super cheesy. It was on TV and everything. Like,
oh snap! Okay.
If I could redo it, I would. God, I would not do that again. Yeah, I did that. Bought a ring I couldn't afford. I was barely surviving at that time. Of course, we didn't have, like, I was broke and still didn't have even, a quarter of the bills that we have as adults today, with all streaming services and cell phones and everything else. You just had to pay for gas and electricity back then. That was pretty much it. But I did that. Then the following, I think we got married the following year in November. So at 19 years old, I was married and had not been given any advice whatsoever on marriage or being a man in general, or being the head of a household. It was just kind of, I was kind of like you back at that age. I was just out there kind of partying and doing my thing. And
I don't even know. I don't even think I knew how to spell marriage at 19.
Yeah. So I say all that to say you picked a good age to get married at, and you've got a tremendous head start. And I think that is a recipe for success. And maybe the biggest thing is the fact that you've got an example with your mom and dad who have been married 39 years of how to do it. And they're still here, so you're able to go back to them. You're able to call your dad and say, hey, I got this issue going on. What's your advice? I mean, you got so many people to get advice from. Yeah. You're set up for success, maybe in this situation more so than any other situation in your life.
I'm telling you, man.
And that's good. That's a really good thing.
It's real, man.
It's real, cuz.
Star Saturday.
But I appreciate you stopping by, man.
Absolutely.
I really thought that was the last glance I was going to get at you before you left. So I'm glad you forgot to log out.
Yeah, forgot to, man. Can't have my emails out here, man. You never know what may happen.
John Bird, do you have any final words of wisdom that you want to scream at Damien? Oh, Mesa Management's in the hall. He can't scream.
Yeah, understandable.
He says he wants to take a picture with you.
All right. I'll stay camera ready, baby.
So we can hook that up. And when you get that picture, if you could put a caption on it and then have it say, "Oh, O'Reilly Auto Parts." Woo! Say, even the O'Reilly Auto Parts general manager is congratulating me on my marriage.
Wow.
He's dressed as a regional manager, though.
Yeah.
That's the good news.
But I am feeling the goatee, though, man.
He's not just some jabron that's out there working the counter and replacing batteries on the parking lot.
No, he's handling,
he's
paperwork.
Traveling from store to store.
He's handling paperwork.
Yeah. He's the guy that fires people.
Man.
That's the kind of O'Reilly Auto Parts
Grim Reaper's
worker.
coming.
All right, man. Well, congratulations.
Thank you, man.
We'll try not to bug you. I mean, part of me wants to hit you up here in a few days and tell you to send me a picture of the venue or something, but I'll just wait for something to come up on Facebook.
We'll figure.
And we can't wait to see you back here and hear all about it. So.
Hey now,
Damian Mitchell. Thank you, buddy.
Absolutely.
Quick break. We'll come back on the other side. More of the line right after this. All right. Boy, was that a heartwarming moment or what?
Sure was.
And the fact that he took the time to come in here before he left, I didn't think we was going to get to talk to him again. And I like the fact that he knows he can walk in the studio at any time. Doesn't matter what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, he's part of the family. I mean, we've been friends for like 5.5 years.
People would not normally do that to a radio host, but he knows he's got a free pass. He and who else has got a free pass? Leland's got a free pass. I guess everybody on 99.5's got a free pass, but I don't think anybody else does.
No, they would need to ask.
Yeah, they'd have to ask.
Fill out paperwork,
Yeah, you'd have to go through. Yeah, Riley's regional manager to get the okay. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right, so I see you guys on the phone. I see you, Clarissa and Curtis. Give me a second, and I'm going to come to you. I just want to make a couple points real quick. On the text line, somebody pointed out that I said all-white jury. I misspoke on that. I even said before that I believe there was other races on the jury. There were no black people on the jury. And some of I've seen some of the arguments from legal people that are legal people that don't have enough brain cells, apparently, but they were making the argument as to why, with the problems with the trial and why it could get overturned. And their arguments are things like excluding all black jurors from a jury with a black defendant, rushing the trial with 90-minute jury selection, 20-minute opening statements, and Saturday trial days, as well as asking lay witnesses to opine on ultimate jury questions and legal issues. They're claiming that these things happened in the case and that could be grounds to overturn it. Now, here's the problem with those arguments. For the first one, excluding black jurors for racist reasons, for instance, because they're black, is in fact grounds for reversal, but that's not what happened. What happens is it's unconstitutional, it's illegal to do that, but at the same time, black jurors don't have a right to be on a jury just because there's a black defendant. There's no right to that. And if a juror of any color, but in this case, because of this argument, a juror that is black says that they can't be unbiased, then they're not going to be on the jury. They actually, the court has a duty to make sure that person can't be on the jury. If they say, oh, well, I already know about this case, and I think Carmelo Anthony's innocent of murder, well, you can't be on the jury. So that could be part of it. There is no constitutional right for these people to be on here for any reason whatsoever. But there are guardrails in place to keep people from being on the jury that already has decided before hearing any of the evidence what the outcome should be. To the second point, things like how long it takes for jury selection, how long it's allowed is allowed for opening arguments, is almost entirely left to the discretion of the trial judge. If examples of verdicts being reversed on those grounds are available, then you're going to have to show them, because there's likely not any reversed decisions based on the fact that a judge decided to only allow opening statements to be blah, 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 blah. And then I don't even remember what the other argument was. Oh, it was something about, people or witnesses opining on legal questions or whatever. Some of these are silly arguments, and they're not going to help make the case as to why this decision gets overturned. But to the point of why there were no black jurors, I think there's a couple things, and some of this, one of these reasons is something that I just found out today. I never really thought about it, but according to attorneys that I've read their comments and stuff on social media, this is what happens in some parts of the country, maybe all parts of the country. One, in this county in Texas, it's approximately 10 to 12% black. All right. That is a pretty low percentage to get black jurors on the jury, right? Like you got a 10 to 12% chance for each juror to be black. And again, there's no inherent right for a black person to be on this jury. It's just happenstance. They randomly select a juror, or they randomly send out these jury duty notices, and you got to show up and you go through the process, and then the both sides come to an agreement as to what the jury makeup's going to be. But this one comment in particular that I saw, and I believe maybe this person is from Birmingham. It's a black female attorney, and she says in her experience in all the years that she's been practicing law, the hardest individuals to get to show up for jury duty in the first place, to even have a chance to get selected, are black and Hispanic people. Now, whatever the reason for that is, I don't know. There could be a plethora of reasons. But if you take that into consideration, if that is in fact true in Texas, in Alabama, or wherever the course or the case may be held or be heard, that takes that 10 to 12% chance of each individual juror being black and dramatically decreases it. Maybe even cuts it in half. Because if you can't get these individuals to show up for jury duty, they're never going to end up on the jury. So those are just some of the facts that play into why the jury makeup was what it was. And it certainly is not going to be grounds for overturning this verdict from this particular jury. Anyway, I just wanted to point those things out. Real quick, Noto Roofing, TORoofing.com, NotoRoofing.com. I hit up Chris yesterday. I talked to him on the phone for a little bit because I needed a favor from him, and it was all about sharing a Facebook post, which I need you guys to help me out and share a Facebook post about Dobbs. It's a video I posted of Lauren, which is my stepdaughter, Trisha's youngest daughter. I need y'all to share that, but I'm going to give you the details on that later. When it comes to your roof, free roof inspection, complimentary roof tune-up. There's a million roofing companies out there. Some are good, some are not good. Why take the chance on getting one that's not good when you could just take my advice, go with Noto, and know you're going to be taken care of? Call them at 205-848-2299. That is 205-848-2299. And online, NotoRoofing.com. Make sure you tell them I sent you. Clarissa is in Alabaster. Clarissa, what's up?
Hey, friend. I have some thoughts on my mind. I just wanted to say that I think that our country has got to put a value on human life, from, abortion to gang violence, road rage, domestic violence, and everything between. We've got to turn the culture that, just because you don't tolerate means you get to eliminate. The irony that the left screams intolerance, but seemingly this is why this Metcalf boy was seemingly murdered, was because some sort of intolerance. Justice is colorblind. I don't think the juries should be selected on race just because people in a given community see color. I think that we have to move away from teaching racism, and we have to, certainly move away from a murderous society, because, either one by itself is deadly, but you combine them and it's ultra tragic for the whole country. I have a kid in law school, and I cannot fathom her being taught to select jurors based on race. But anyway, that was just some of my thoughts based on the Carmelo Anthony case today.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff, and I appreciate the phone call. Clarissa makes a great point in the sense of how we as a society value life the same individuals on the left that are up in arms and yelling and screaming about this particular verdict. Well, for one, they're not really caring about the loss of life. At least some of them. They could care less about Austin Metcalf's life. You heard one, or I told you about one individual that was out there protesting on behalf of Carmelo Anthony. She said the brother should have been killed too. That these two kids were bullies, they were known bullies, and that also that Carmelo Anthony feared for his life, and that's why he plunged a knife into Austin Metcalf's chest. There's no excuse for it. I mean, again, somebody's got to answer the question to me as to why Carmelo Anthony had a knife at a track meet. Was there previous experiences at previous track meets that where you felt you were in danger, and so because of that, you've been traumatized and feel like you need to bring a deadly weapon to a track meet now to defend yourself? Because that would have stopped the whole thing. I mean, worst thing that could have happened is this two got in a fist fight and got a little bruised up. But he had a weapon. These are some uncomfortable questions for those defending Carmelo Anthony, but they need to be answered. But those on the left, to my point, and to Clarissa's point, the value of life has been lost on many people. And for the left, there is no value on life. Just look at their stance on abortion. Life is nothing, especially for the people making the decisions in Washington, D.C. If life mattered, if the value of life mattered to these people, if they did place any value on life, they would do something to stop the killings in blue cities or to stop the stabbings on subways in New York. But instead, what do leftists do? Well, they fight against murals that are being painted on the side of buildings of this young Ukrainian girl that was stabbed in the neck on a bus in North Carolina. There was a big whodunit about that. They were trying to paint a mural of that girl. What was her name? Arana Zaruska. Zaruska, I think was her last name.
Yeah, from Eastern European country.
Yeah, she's from Ukraine, and she was brutally killed on video. And the left is like, it happens. And somebody tries to honor her with a painting. While we have to deal with murals of George Floyd all over the place, somebody tries, and I'm trying to remember where this was at. I think it was somewhere in the Northeast. They were trying, maybe Massachusetts or Maine or something like that. They were putting this mural up, and they demanded that it come down. And I think it ultimately did. I think they painted over it. The value of life is lost upon these people. They don't care about their constituents, first of all, but they certainly don't care about their lives in general. Otherwise, they would do something about it. They would do something about crime. They would do something about the border and illegal immigration that have cost so many lives. They don't even care about the lives of the illegals, because if the border was wide open, people were being trafficked, raped, and murdered. Children forced into labor trafficking. All kinds of horrendous stuff that would, in a normal world, be declared a humanitarian crisis. But instead, they made the argument that we needed to keep doing it. That's the modern day left. No value on life, no value on people, no value on even those that vote for them. As a society, that's all been thrown out the window. And that's why you don't see any sympathy for Austin Metcalf or his family. Because why? We've got an issue here we can make about race. They don't care that Austin Metcalf's dead or that a mother had to bury her son. That's a very unnatural thing to have to do for a parent. It's not supposed to be that way. But so many parents have to do it. I saw a good argument that was made, and it was, there are names that are used for people who lose a loved one, right? You think about somebody that loses a spouse. What do you call them? You call them a widow. But there's no names. There's no names for a parent that loses a child because it's so unnatural, and it's just not supposed to happen. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the left. There's no value whatsoever. All right, 205-545-9950. Let's keep it going. Back on the other side, Joe. Hang tight. Some more marital advice. Play this at your wedding, at the reception in particular.
You know, when I got married, my good friend in radio, Jack Boston, we asked him to be the DJ by mistake.
By mistake?
Yes, because the first song after the mother son and father daughter song and all that, he played "Highway to Hell."
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, so the music started, and a lot of people didn't know the song. They're going like, "Yeah," I was like, "Oh, cut it."
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, my buddy.
And that was at your wedding?
Yes.
That may have been what cost you.
Yeah,
that marriage.
Really. I'm on the highway to hell.
Highway to hell. Down. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep it going. Let me tell you about ProLift. ProLift Garage Doors. My buddy Mike Miller. If you got garage door needs, ProLift is where it's at, man. Y'all reach out to him. Let him know I sent you. And let him get you taken care of, because Mike does just that. He takes care of all your garage door needs, big and small. You may have just a little minor thing. If you're a 99.5 listener and you're part of the Hey Now Nation, he'll come out to you for free, give you an estimate, let you look at your options. Maybe if you want to change some stuff up, get a new doors. Maybe you're just replacing panels. Maybe you want that new pretty much silent garage door opener that I've been telling you about. There's all kinds of options. So big or small, 2-car garage, big barn, roll-up doors, whatever it is. Mike and his team have got you covered. ProLiftDoors.com. ProLiftDoors.com. 205-346-8465. That's 205-346-8465. Again, ProLiftDoors.com. Real quick, can I somebody just text in, can I get a price on brake pads for an 07 F-150? You want to look that up?
Shut up.
They were asking. I'm
burning this shirt.
No, you look good though.
All right, what was it again?
It's brake pads for an 07 F-150.
All right, I'll check, sir. I'll be right back. I'm going to go in the back.
Okay. Yeah, find out not just the price, but if you got them in stock. Odin is looking for those. So keep us updated. Hey, speaking of appeals courts, the Michigan Court of Appeals has vacated convictions against Joseph Morrison, who was sentenced in the alleged plot to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, a plot that was hatched and paid for by the dirty FBI. Now, what's interesting about this is there have been other members of that group. I think it was called the Wolverine. What was their group called? It was like Wolverine Militia or something. And they just had, they just had their groups. They were kind of, they weren't doing anything. They were just out there practicing being a militia. And the FBI infiltrated it. The FBI even literally set up the meetings for this group, coerced them with weed and women and all kinds of stuff, and then secretly recorded them and then arrested them. Anyway, good news that convictions have been overturned.